Does it fit?
It's still on there.
You put that on backwards, you know.
Oh, well, it looks better that way.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, what can it hurt, Roger? I'm already cutting in circles. Me files are junk. Me files. Oh, right here. Right here. Me files are junk. Junky, junky file. Junky, junky file. Stab a hole in my damn car.
Then you have a flat tire.
Yep. Flat tire. Is there a hole in the bottom of that? No.
There's a hole in the bottom.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, just do all you can to try to keep up today, Roger. That's all you gotta do. I'll start with this X. Is that X? No, it ain't. Is it? Alright, I'm editing this video. It's the... what day is it? It's 24th of January, 2021. But this video is taking place in the the third week of October, going into fall on this Indian Mounds job. Bruce broke down. The cylinder is in the shop. We're getting them to remake, I forget. No, the rod. The cylinder rod on my tilt on my head on Brutus. I tore the threads out of it, and it is getting repacked. It's getting welded up and cut back down. The threads cut back in it at All Type Hydraulics. Oh, baby, thank you.
Your hands always full forward.
Okay. Fill me up. You're a good man. What do you think of that big white oak? Think she's gonna hit the ground hard?
Here you go down there.
Just lay right down on it.
Just lay right down, no problem.
Probably bounce all the way back up.
Bounce all the way up to
Won't
Stevie.
even hear it touch.
Bounce all the way up to Stevie.
Yeah.
You only have to top it. Stevie
No.
top it.
I'm gonna top them rough today if they're going to skeevy. I'm gonna be lazy about it. So getting back into this, while Bruce's cylinder's all getting done, I'm running puddin. I'm so rusty with the saw. Now it don't take me long to get back in the groove, but I'm so rusty with the saw that I've got throttle linkage problems and I'm not picking up on it. I feel like something's wrong. I can't tell if it's my bar bonding up, because when the saw's running doggy, it don't, you know, it can pull, your bar can make you think it's bonding up even when it's not. It just ain't got the power to pull it. So I'm having all kinds of head problems here, and this maple tree is driving me crazy. It's one of them deals where I'm gonna make a picket fence before I can cut this white oak out of the way. But so this Vidya pudding's still running slow in. I'm kind of fast forwarding, and it runs a little bit better because of the fact that I finally got the old fuel worked out everywhere, and we're running on new gas, and whatever gunk would have been in the carburetor's all worked out of it, and things are going smooth-ish, but it's not right. And it is at this point it's really getting annoying. But the whole time I gotta keep Roger going. I ain't got time full of stuff. I gotta keep skidder on so much time. You know, and it's haste makes waste sort of mentality. You see it lugging down this white oak tree, making that, you cut across the grain like that, it pulls harder on your motor, your saw motor, and it, you know, of course it dogs out when it hits resistance, you know, because it don't have the power. Now, by the time you're seeing this video, now I shot a video in January the 15th-ish or something in that nature, where I rebuilt puddin and advanced the timing 12 degrees, did a hillbilly port job that I'm not very good at. I'm not Stevie when it comes to porting the saw. I don't know enough about it to do a real good job. I just make more air, more room, and go with that. But advanced the timing, 10, 12 degrees. Left a billow build aftermarket muffler on it. I did some patching on it. and put a new carburetor on it and got it cranked up and running 13,700 something RPMs, and it's a beefcake now. But after seeing it fixed, it's hard to watch me run this thing like it is now. And look at that big thing. Whop! It's saying. Break 2 for Roger. Come in, Roger, over.
He's not answering those.
Nope. He never does. Don't tell him that. So I got quite a bit of footage of cutting off this job. I don't know how I ended up with so much of it. I think I just put a camera on my helmet and just went for them days. So I'm going to skip through and go through it pretty quick. Because it's good footage. It needs to be shared. But I don't need to overwhelm y'all with it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to... Now, that tree was hollow in the butt, so I'm cleaning it off. What I'm trying to do is break things up. I'm showing videos from present, back at the mill in the middle of January. And then I'm also going to be going back and showing these videos that I did not edit yet from the old days, or from the fall, trying to beef up the log yard. So I'll kind of skip back and forth and dance around so I don't burn you all out on any one thing. But we'll finally work through this stuff. But I'm going to skip through some of it quite a bit because I have a lot of it for some reason. I did a pretty good job of covering it this fall. Better than I had to, I guess. I just didn't know what I was going to need, and I just kept recording. And we was going wide open, so there's a lot of cool footage I got just getting it edited up. Yeah, break 2 for Super Steve. Come in, Super Steve, over. Hey, I got this big white oak cut. I think there's about 3 foot of it bad on the butt. I marked it off what I started measuring from. I hated to make a butt log a 12, but I think it's got to be a 12. When you get it, you'll see what I mean. But I got it shortened up to a 12 and a 10, I think. Grade-wise, it made the decision for me. You might look at it different once you get it up in the air, but I think it'll be a 12 and then a 10. They're putting them in a pile. We got to quarter them anyway, so it probably don't matter.
Jody said she ain't got a quarter.
Yeah, she might sell them or something. Okay, yep. Oh, come on. Well, what the fuck? Switch. That damn kill switch, Roger, I cut one tree and some of it's bad. I done hooked it. I'll tell you what, I do have a complaint about that on my Huskies. I always have. I don't know what it is, these kill switches and these son of a bucks, but you can't get one to hold up. And you'll go through, so you get one go bad, And you'll go through 2 or 3 of them like lickety daggone split. They'll fall apart just like in no time. And then you'll finally get the one that'll last you a while. Not long, but a while. And then you'll go through 2 or 3 more trying to switch them out. And then you'll finally get one that lasts. I have it now. The new style Huskies, I think, are going away from that. Kate has a different kind of switch. Of course, she's not fuel injection. She's auto-tuned, but she got a different kind of kill system, and it looks like it'll work a whole lot better. But these old-style snap switches, you just kind of go through them. And they'll screw you up. You'll wear yourself out yanking on something and then don't realize what you're like, well, daggone it. It ain't getting no fire. But you got to put the wire, when you do that, you got to put the wire up out of the way so it don't ground out and kill your saw. Roger, there's one more limb to this white oak after you grab the top. There's 2 pieces.
Okay.
So here's the thing, I'm trying to keep Roger going, trying to keep things moving with this saw. And we've got this job, it's the tree size is large on it, but usually anybody, look at that, beautiful. Beautiful. That old black oak getting dead up above. A lot of these old black oaks getting dead up in the top. But the wood's still good down low and stuff. It just, well, not on this one. This one's hollow down there. Grapple skidder's in the way. I'm gonna have to move it here in a second. Broke my chain of thought. Boy, my thought chain ain't much of a chain. There's some stick tights on my legs. Yeah, nice. Love that. You know, keeping the production moving is key. You got multiple people involved in logging, and you're feeding a mill. I mean, you got to keep the wood moving. That's, people makes comparisons to what we do to what they're doing, and I'll do something stupid and they'll be like, well, I don't see how you make that mistake, you know. And you can tell by the way they're talking, like, man, you ain't never worked under pressure, you know. There's always pressure dialed up. We used to do this hand cutting all the time, and pressure's too high. You load them on helicopters and stuff like that. We hadn't got anybody killed on our crew, but I don't see how. I loaded 2 different times. I put people on helicopters I didn't think was going to make the ride, but they did, thank goodness. But there's been a lot of people butchered up trying to do this in our company alone, you know, trying to keep a mill fed, keep people, you know, money moving and stuff for the things that we got going on. And it's not easy to try to, cause it's like this. It don't matter. And I tell people, you know, you hear old tavern talk and old dumb stuff talk. Well, back in my day, I used to, you know, and I don't listen to none of that shit. And I'm sorry for the language, but I'm gonna tell you something. And people talks about trees ain't big. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. The trees we're cutting right now, it's big trees. Trees are outgrowing loggers. I know everybody don't believe that stuff because of the crap I hear, but trees are outgrowing us. The trees are coming back faster than we can harvest them. And the trees are getting bigger and bigger, and the production, the man hours, the men are getting paid more now. We got medium wage of $15 an hour and all that, you know, whatever that crap's about. That our president's got us going on, but so the pressure just keeps getting dialed up higher and higher and higher and higher, and you got to keep moving, keep putting it on. Saws ain't got no less power. The saws, what I'm trying to say, saws has got more powerful. Skidders has got bigger. That skidder over there, Rogers, ain't even cutting edge technology, and that son of a buckle running circles out of an old jack. You know, that son of a bucket eat a jack at what Rogers driving right there. And I know there are people, man, there's a big old timber jack I used to have, and I'm telling you, that son of a buck will run circles around a jack. You get that grapple tongs up your butt, and you had the blade shoved so far up your butt, you're tasting dirt, you know, and but guess what? But here's my saying. Here's what I'm getting at. I'm being arrogant right now, but here's what I'm getting at. The job mashes you just as flat as it ever did. So you have to be right all the time, and the stats are showing it. Manual loggers are getting butchered up worse now than what they did the manual logging side, because you're trying to push to keep up with production, and the temperature's dialed up. Every year temperature gets dialed up higher and higher and higher. I'm not talking about global warming, I'm talking about pressure from, so with the temperature getting dialed up, the job, you can get mashed just as flat as you ever could, so that's what I'm getting at. When you get back, there's 3 pieces in that top. Pull them out for me where I can top them later. I'm gonna cut these last 2 over here. I'm at a higher rate of speed. And they can talk all they want to talk. Figures are there to prove it. You can talk all you want to talk. look, an athlete. You look at, I don't know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But you look at a guy that runs a mile, or a woman that runs a mile. Look at some old gal that runs a mile there, fastest mile. And I guarantee you, look at the fastest mile, I guarantee it's pretty recent. I'm guaranteed there ain't no 1960 mile dash thing made. You know what I mean? The world is dialed up faster. And this job is it'll mash you just as flat as it ever could. So that's the thing, you gotta be right, you gotta do your stuff right, and the pressure turned up. So it makes it hard you should have saws ready, you should have safety equipment ready. And here we was just not ready. And we're driving, unless timber cutter drives log truck to the woods. So you got all that stuff. And that grapple skidder's up against grapple skidder's under power line right there. And these 2 doubles, one of the doubles leaning pretty hard across that power line. And it's kind of a leap of faith. I'm pushing these 2 trees together. I'm gonna drop them as one and hope they pop when they hit the ground. That's what the job of this is. And you gotta watch, when you squeeze a wishbone together, it'll snap the wishbone. You pull a wishbone apart and it'll snap properly. Well, the way these trees are falling, we're pulling a wishbone together when they hit the ground. So you're going to have to make daggone sure you got enough reliefs made in it to where that split don't run up the tree and split a bunch of good wood. So I set up a pretty good pretty good example. That's what I'm trying to say. Set up a pretty good example dropping this son of a buck, and then you can see when it hit the ground how they open up and do their thing. But that only because these vertical slits I'm putting right in the seam, right in the crotch of this tree. So just watch to see how I'm putting them in there. Them's reliefs going in there where the trees are grown. The 2 sticks or stems are grown together. Now this is a stump sprout. That's what makes them. Stump sprout from logging. People talk about logging being, racing the trees or murdering hoot owls or something. This here was a stump sprout. This tree that I'm cutting right now got cut years and years ago, probably 120 years ago, and it come back as a sprout, and it come back with 2 sprouts. That's the trick I used to do all the time. We'll see if it works. Lord knows it's been a while. Now watch these butts fall. See what y'all make of that. See if they pop loose. See how sleek that works? The idea is you put that relief in there. If you don't, they'll split up the tree. If you're still watching this video at this point, you're pretty interested in cutting and timber and stuff. Back up and look at that. Watch that tree, the double hit the ground, how it split up. Now notice, as that double's hitting the ground, notice how the power line, see that power line's right there to my left. I'm standing there on this tree.
I didn't trust that.
The power line's right up there in that open.
I didn't fully trust that.
That tree wasn't favoring the power line. Now this white oak, it wasn't favoring the power line, but that poplar was. And I think I cut, no, this might have been the last of the power line trees on this side of the job site, or this side of the right away. Now that's the white oak butt log. We're cleaning it up pretty good. It's veneer. Oh, that's a beautiful looking bud log. I'm just trying to clean my cuts up to be pretty clean. Roger's gonna come down and grab it. And this is funny because he's down there in this son of a bucket bowl down there, and his skidder gets high centered. And of course, Roger's always, he don't like using that Defi lock for some reason. I don't know why. He says he can't steer or whatever when it's probably in a skidder then. But it gets funny. He gets like Austin Powers in that daggone when he's trying to turn that cart around that hallway that time. He looks like getting that skidder in a second.
Yeah, it's about time. Rogie Dodge looks like old Austin Powers that time he got stuck in that hallway with that golf cart thing. Don't forget to get your flick savers in that one. I'll be a little bit clean up these tops anyways. You don't have to worry about this end, just that end. Oh yeah. That's a good looking veneer butt. I don't think so. I think I met up where Robin was cutting.
Okay.
The only thing we ain't got is across the gas line.
Yeah.
Figure it's going the other way then, ain't it?
Yeah, and even if we're wrong, we're going to figure that. Okay.
We got that done. I figure we just start here and head around this way clean.
Okay. So let me get ahead of you and set it up so you ain't got all the damn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'll start right here and move around.
All right, now I'm gonna pull this white oak top up over the hill. This is a pretty good little climb up out of here, but it's dry ground and skidders can climb it fine without change. You know, people gets on or used to get on me, not much anymore, but about the chains and us not running the chains. And you get in dry ground like this is, and when you don't need change, you don't need change. When you don't need change, they don't need to be on there because you are wearing them son of a bucks out. So we don't, you know, Brutus does a lot of the stuff, and Den can do some, and Tiny, you know, or, you know, stuff like it. It changes things. We don't need chains. Derek uses chains on his cutting machine because that's kind of a big deal, that he's got traction on Titus to be able to top, climb up in odd situations, and still have the traction to push your saw through the tree and do what you need to do there. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on the back of the property. Well, no, not till I cut this red oak tree first. That's the thing about cutting timber, you always got to be right. The danger's all around, you're going to have to be right. If you're wrong, Most of the times you'll get a little lucky, but sometimes not so much.
Finally, for once today, well, actually for the second time today, which is probably not in this video, but I finally got somewhere where there's some trees to cut. Oh gosh, I don't know how to act, bud. Yeah, boy.
Trying to get out everybody's way, Robin. That was a little confusing at the time for all of us.
I'm back here on the back end. I got this little area that's not got, it's got a decent amount. I got a bunch of ash on it, and they're not real big trees. They're not small trees, but they're not big trees. They're just normal trees. And it feels good to whack on some normal sized trees as opposed to all them big ones we've been doing. All the big ones aren't bad hand cutting. They're not bad to cut, but they screw up a skidder operator. This here is just the right size to where it cuts quick and skids quick, that type of thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm texting Cowboy Car Crusher. I'm sorry, I forgot I'm editing. That is how airheaded my brain is. Cowboy Car Crusher texted me about his merch lady getting with him and doing some stuff, selling his merch. And he's talking about this, and I was just like, what? And I start texting him. I forgot I was supposed to be talking to y'all. I'm sorry, guys. But those of you that ain't checked out Cowboy Car Crusher, Cowboy Car Crushing, go check him out. He is a crazy, I love a guy. He's crazier than hell. I will say this. I got so much on my mind and I get opinionated sometimes. As you get older, you get more opinionated. Those of you that's young and watching this, it happens. It does happen. It's kind of a flaw, but it's also kind of good. You get opinionated because you finally see enough things in life to where you get your opinions made. And everybody to each their own, as far as I'm concerned, on opinions. But Cowboy Car Crusher, I'm telling you, the good thing about this guy is he's such a people person. What do you say here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, he gets haters up on him too sometimes. But Cowboy Car Crusher, I'm reading his text. But Cowboy Car Crusher, Car Crushing is he's such a good, energetic people person. He really, I have to have influence like that in my life once in a while when I get down to pooper dumps and I go to feeling sorry for myself and ball bagging around. Guys like that, and some people say they use my channel for that, and I'm like, guys, I'm nobody special. I mean, I get my down in the dump poopy doop days and stuff like that, but folks, gotcha. So anyway,
boy, them some good swing Dutchmans right there. That one was facing over here. That one was facing over there. and they both went that way without a wedge. Of course, with ash, you can take your hinge down pretty thin, especially dead ash, to where you can swing your momentum a little faster. That helps.
So anyway, that's why I'm saying you got to surround yourself with people like that. You got to have them people in your life because it keeps you out of the pooper dumps. I got people use me for that from time to time, but then I get loaded up and I get down in the pooper dumps, you know, and feel sorry for myself. Think about, you know, marching or something and bawling about stuff. But you keep enough of them good people like that in your life, and then things go pretty daggone. You know, you use that. Daggone, nobody needs to be feeling sorry for himself, be pouting around about dumb, silly stuff, you know. And I just love guys like that. They mean that, cause what they do is they're so humble. You see how I smacked that limb off that one top? Back her up a second, check that out. I cut a relief in that thing earlier when I topped it. So when I smacked it with this other tree, pop, I popped her open. But them people like that, what's the old saying? The peacemakers is the true angels on earth, you know, and you gotta love people like that, and they get an upbeat look on things even when they're down in the pooper dumps, you know. Well, I'm a company man, so yeah, I know what you mean, buddy. Hell yeah, let's text him back. Hell yeah, buddy. I know what you mean by that. Good man. Gentleman and a scholar. How you spell scholar? S-C-O-L-A-R. God, you keep screwing it up. How you spell scholar? Anybody know how to spell scholar? S-C-H. That's cool. Scholar. Scholarship. I'll just erase the ship off the end of it. But anyways, I hope y'all like this. The next video, come back for the next video and see. I try to kill puddin, and I'm not talking maybe. When I say something like I'm about to kill my soul, I'm not kidding.